Hello, I'm Michael Finn, Holistic Exercise and Lifestyle Coach, and today is going to be part 2 of learning how to decompress your lumbar spine and make your back feel better and reduce back pain and all the other kind of good stuff. Alright, so I have here my trusty foam roller. So I do a lot of sports massage therapy and regular massage therapy and all that other kind of good stuff. And what I find in people is they've got a lot of sore, tight muscles where the connective tissue and the muscle tissue is, painful to the touch. And muscles that are painful to the touch don't want to stretch. They're tight, they're bound up, they're all like crunched up nice and tight. Because stretching them out is a little tender, but we need to open those muscles up. Those muscles are pulling and they're compressing our lumbar spine. So we need to loosen all of those muscles up as much as we possibly can. So now, I really recommend massage therapy. I recommend going to a really good massage therapist that works the connective tissue at the joints and at the bones, not just the bellies of the muscle. So that it works everything, because having the belly, the muscle is really great, but we need to work the connective points too. And those are the things that I focus more on, I focus more on the connective points, because getting the belly, the muscles healthy is pretty easy. So, but we need to get all of the connective tissue where it connects on to the bone healthy too. So, we can use a foam roller and we can do some of our self-massage and improve the function of our spine and decompress our spine with the foam roller. So here, that's how we're going to do this today. So, we're going to put foam roller up on a wall behind us while we're standing. And I'm going to move my feet out in front a little bit so that I can lean back on the foam roller a little bit. And it's right behind my lumbar spine. And then basically I'm going to do like mini squats. And I'm going to roll up and down my back a little bit. So I'm just focusing on the lumbar spine right here. I'll show you how we can do the other parts too. And I'm turning a little bit to the side so that I'm not rolling right on the spine, but I'm turning a little bit to my left so that I'm rolling on what is the QL, or the quadratus laborum, on the left side. And I'm going from basically the top of my hip bone, or the ilium, up to the bottom rib. And I'm just rolling up and down, and then I'll turn to my right, and I'll go up and down there a few times, and that sort of thing. So if you have tenderness right there, well then you just need to focus on that, okay? So, and building that up and getting that to where that doesn't hurt. You should be doing that every day to loosen that up. Now you can put the roller up a little higher, and you go on the middle part of your spine, and you can roll on the middle part of your spine, and do that, and you can go all the way up. If you roll it up a little higher, so I'm going to move my elbows, and I'm going to roll it up a little higher, you can go all the way up to where you get to just below the base of your neck, and just leaning back and rolling through all of there, and that way you get in between the shoulder blades, and you can roll through all of that and see how that feels. So if you have tenderness there, focus on rolling that every single day until you get rid of the tenderness. Now, we can also go with turning sideways, and I'm going to have my left side towards the wall and the roller up on the wall, and I'm going to put that left shoulder right under my left armpit, basically, right on top of the roller. And then I'm going to lean there, so I got my feet out away from the wall so I can lean, and I'm going to roll underneath that shoulder with the roller, and I'll move it a little bit with my right hand and put it a little bit lower so I can go a little bit down. So that we're going to kind of get the middle of the lat right underneath the shoulder. You can even turn forward facing the wall a little bit more. You can turn a little bit away from the wall a little bit and find if there's some tender spots in that big lat muscle. Because that big lat muscle crosses our shoulder joint and it crosses our hip joint, and it can mess one or both of those joints up. So we need to take care of that big lat muscle. Okay? And then of course after you do the left side, you're going to want to do the right side too, and find out if there's any soreness in there. Alright, so if there is, then you need to focus on that. Now, if you've done all this against the wall, and you don't really feel anything, then we can move down to the floor. So now, I'm laying on my back on the floor, with the roller right behind my lumbar spine, basically at the lower ribs. With my legs bent so my feet are flat on the floor, my hips are on the ground, and I'm going to push to my feet, and I'm going to lift my hips up off the floor just about an inch or two, and then I'm going to roll that roller down to my hips and back up to the bottom rib. Turning to one side just a little bit. So once again, I'm not rolling directly on the spine, I'm rolling on the side. Okay, I have my belly button in. I have the tongue on the roof of my mouth behind the front teeth that goes there when you swallow, except for the fact that I'm talking. But I'm used to doing this so that the core is stable. So we're actually working our core to do this. If this is hard, then your core is not very strong. And you need to look at some of my videos on developing core strength. So, rolling on that lumbar spine and finding if there's any tenderness there. And then of course, leaning over to the left side, rolling up and down the left side, finding if there's any tenderness on the left side, going from the hip all the way up to that lumbar spine, so that we focus on loosening up these low back muscles. I like to do a good 5 to 10 to even 15 times on each side. I'll kind of go back and forth. I'll go 5 one side, then 5 the other side, and then 5 back and forth. Just loosening it all up. And then I'll even go to that upper part. I'll go into the thoracic spine, and I'll roll a little bit in between the shoulder blades. Once again, I'm leaning right now. I'm leaning a bit to the right a little bit, so that I'm getting the right side, and then I'll lean to the left a little bit. So I'm not rolling directly on the spine itself. I'm rolling on one side of the spine or the other side of the spine. The only time I'm in the middle is when I'm switching sides, and that's it. Okay? So that's getting the back. Now, the glutes attached to the bottom of the back. So we want to get those a little bit too. So there's 2 ways we can do this. So now I'm sitting up on top of my roller. Got my legs bent at 90 degrees where my feet are on the floor. But I'm twisted to the right so that only my right glute or my right cheek is on the roller. Got my right hand flat on the floor with my arms straight for balance there. You could put the left hand either behind you or in front of you, or I just basically just keep it on my legs or wherever it happens to go free. And then we want to roll on the outside of our right hip and our glute area, and even all the way into the tailbone. That's where I'll bring my left hand back around behind me. Okay, and we want to roll in through there so you can push with your feet. And you can use your arm a little bit too, but you want to find if there's any lumps and bumps and sore spots in there and roll that. If you want to get a little extra added, you can take that right leg and you can bring the right foot up on top of the left leg, and then you can lift that right knee up. That's going to stretch that glute a little bit, and it's going to allow you to get deeper into that muscle and open it up. Okay? So, then you're going to want to do the left side as well, of course. Rolling over to that left side, roll the left glute out, see if there's any tenderness there, and if there's any problem. Okay, let's go a little farther down. The hamstrings are also attached up there, so we want to do the hamstrings. So now I've got the roller underneath my hamstrings, and I'm sitting on the ground, and I'm going to use my hands. This is a great way to build shoulder strength. Okay, pushing through those hands, lifting those hips up off the ground, and now I'm going to roll up and down the back side of my hamstrings. Now, for most people, they don't really feel this a whole lot, and that's great. But if you do, well, then your hamstrings are really, really tight, and they need some stretching, and they need some foam rolling every day. Okay, and if you feel any of this stuff, you need to be rolling it every day for a while. You could increase by, I've got my left leg over the top of my right leg, so now only my right leg is touching the roller. And you're going to want to turn to the inside, so I'm going the inside of my right leg, the middle of my right leg, and the outside of my right leg, all up and down the hamstring to see if there's any kind of tenderness in there at all. And then of course you're going to want to do the left side as well, rolling up and down the left leg, inside, middle, and outside, and checking to see if there's anything going on there. Alright, now the fascia goes all the way down to the calf, so we want to do our calves too. So now I've got the foam roller underneath my ankles, and you can start off with both once again, where both ankles are sitting up on top of the foam roller. Developing shoulder strength with our hands, we're going to use those hands and lift our body up so our hips are up off the ground, and then we're going to roll. Now this one I like to split up into halves, so I do the bottom half from the ankle about to mid-calf, and I roll that, turning the feet in, having them go up the middle, turning the feet out, see if there's any kind of tenderness. And then I'll scoot down a little bit, and then I'll do the upper half. And I'll go the upper half of the calf, going straight up the middle, insides, outside. Now if that doesn't bother you, because that stuff doesn't bother me because I'm used to doing it this way. Once again, I will cross one leg over the other. So my left leg's on top of my right. I will lift myself up, and then I will roll that bottom half, and I will get the bottom half of my right calf and find if there's any tender spots in there. Then I will scoot down a little bit, and I will get the top half, and I will go up and down there. And typically I will spend a good 2 minutes on the bottom of the calf and 2 minutes on the top of the calf, and I'll switch sides. I'll do this while I have music on. Sometimes I'll do it in between sets of working out. Great for the triceps. The triceps get a good workout. Like I said, it's great for shoulder stability. It's a great little core workout. So, and then I will switch over to the other leg, and I will do the bottom of the other leg. I get all that going, and then I will do the top part of the leg, and I will get all of that going too. Okay, so that I stretch all of that out and I get that all going. All right, last bonus as I run across the room to grab the lacrosse ball. All right, so lacrosse balls are great. Just a nice little hard rubber ball. Because we also want to do the feet, there's a lot of connections between our lumbar spine and our feet. So you can stand next to a wall or anything else that you can use for a little bit of balance. And I put that lacrosse ball right in the middle of my right foot, and I'm just going to roll all around through the arch, underneath the base of the toes, around on the heel. Okay, let me get the base of the toes because I said it but I didn't do it. But underneath those, and you want to find where you might have tender spots. And when you find those tender spots, you're going to kind of want to hold for about 10 seconds and allow that tender spot to loosen up. And then of course after you do the right foot, then you're going to want to do the left foot and roll the left foot out and loosen all that up. And that will help to decrease the pressure in your lumbar spine. Okay? Part one was all about stretching, very, very important too. But this way we can actually treat the muscles and the connective tissue and have it open up as well. All right? So if you have questions, put comments down below. You can always reach out to me via email and all that other kind of good stuff. But really work on decompressing your lumbar spine. It's very, very important for health and longevity and everything else in function. So I hope your lumbar spine feels really, really great. Let me know how it does feel. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a happy and healthy day.